So I'm floating down the river in Santa Marta, Colombia today. And two kind of opposing themes were on my mind. Sovereignty. Another way to say sovereignty could say freedom. I think that's an old word because that can presuppose opposition. Freedom against the corporations, freedom against what my ex or girlfriend wants or whatever. Freedom against the government. It can have this like push and pull. So instead of sovereignty, independence. So surrender and sovereignty or independence. And I'm getting ready to go on this rafting tour. I'm at this cool hotel I like. I haven't been here in years. One of my favorite hotels in Colombia. And I go to the front desk and I'm like, ask the guy, well, what do I need to bring? So it's like to bring like a bathing suit, a towel. And he's not very helpful, which is kind of normal in a lot of places in Latin America. He's maybe you could bring some shoes. I was like, yeah, I should bring shoes. Like, yeah, but like once it can get wet. I was like, oh yeah, kind of what I figured. It was funny. It's kind of goofy. I'm like, all right, that's normal. I'm used to that. Grab all my gear. Truck comes, picks us up, or picks me up because it was a solo tour. I thought I was going in a group. We get to the river. And it's this big river. It's calm. It's not really dangerous, right? But you're in the river alone. It's fresh water. You're just floating down the river. You have your tube. You have your guide with you. I have my guide. And he has stuff in his bag. My stuff. His stuff. That's pretty much it. So as I was standing there by the river, I'm like, well, as I'm here, you have to kind of just let go and go down the river. And it's really pretty. I haven't been on a river water tour in like a decade. Oh, but there's more. Before we get to the river, there's a guy driving. Again, he's Colombian. He's kind of just driving, doing his thing. This guy is probably like 18, but he acts kind of like he's 12, which made it cute, a little bit annoying, a little weird, funny. And he's passing cars. He's doing it pretty well, to be fair. I've seen much worse. We're in essentially like the jungle here. Not as unique as like Putumayo, like the Amazon jungle in the south, but it's still pretty jungly. And he's going, and I'm thinking like, well, he's driving. I can yell at him. But he's passing. He's doing good. And then he's passing the motorcycle coming the other way. Now, granted, we're in a truck. He's in the motorcycle. The motorcycle is not happy. He's not happy. He's not having a good time. That this guy coming in the other lane, he's kind of going like, which people don't really do in Colombia much. They're pretty chill. In America, they would do that for sure. And as we're going around the motorcycle, we come up really quick on a truck, which says peligro. This is a tanker truck or like a bomb on wheels filled with oil, gas, something that you don't want to hit this truck. And I'm thinking how, whether I like it or not, I'm in the passenger seat of this experience. So I have to be somewhat surrendered to the driver. I could argue with the driver. I also have a plan. I have a direction. I have an outcome. I will use that word sovereignty because it fits. I have somewhere I want to go in my freedom and independence and fun. I paid money. I'm driving. And me and this guy just start laughing at each other. I don't know why I'm laughing totally. I have theories. He doesn't know why he's laughing. He talks in Spanish, but here it sounds different. I can understand, but it's costeño, it's like from the coast, it's different. And I just thought it was funny. Like, all right, it's a good metaphor for life. I have a plan. I'm independent. I'm a freedom-loving individual. I know where I'm going, but also I have to like let go and let God. Or let the universe, whatever, or the divine, whatever freedom, whatever God term you like, whatever universe term you like. So I'm back in the water, floating down the river with this guy. We had this long ass walk, which was really cool, way longer than I thought. We met some Kogis and some Momos, like different indigenous tribes. I got this black and white bracelet representing, like integrating the light and the dark of who you are. I was like, that's fitting. How cool. Going on this river, seeing fish, blue herring, gray herring. On the way, I'm seeing cacao plants. ¿Cómo se dice? I guess like star fruit, they call it in English. I think it's called the same in Spanish, but just in Spanish. And I'm making jokes as I do. I was like, oh, there's sharks in here. He's like, yeah, haha. We're in fresh water. I mean, you could have a bull shark, but didn't seem there's any sharks. But different times along the way, my tube got a little too close to the shore, and it was kind of not moving too fast, but fast enough. And the tour guide was usually a little late to tell me. So it's like, all right, it's my responsibility. It's my life. But I'm surrendering to the process and to the river and shit. And it's like, all right, but I got to get out of the way. And I'm seeing this vine. It's a really huge vine. It looks really cool. And I'm going right into it. And then I'm like, what if there's an electric... My brain is like, what if there's an electric wire in that vine? What if... what was the other one? What if it's like snakes? It's like, well, hopefully they're not venomous. We did find venomous frogs. Or a couple. And it was made me thinking like, all right, kind of like the entitled part of my thinking is like, I paid money for this fucking tour. I assume this is going to be a safe enough experience. And another part of me is like, bro, you live in Colombia. Like the level of consequences, things being litigious, meaning people suing each other, that's not really a thing here in this region of the world. And then I'm going, and he starts yelling a word I don't know in Spanish. I did not know this word. He's like, see, over there. And he's not always the best at pointing. I'm in fresh water, and it's a fucking alligator. Close enough, the closest I've ever been in water to an alligator. Now, this alligator is maybe like 5 feet long, which doesn't seem enormous, but isn't pleasing to my nervous system. And I'm like, bro, like, what? I was like, I didn't say what the fuck, but I'm thinking, like, what the fuck? And he's like, oh, yeah, it's a really pretty alligator. He said it's some other word. He's like, it's like a caiman. I'm like, bro, it's got big-ass teeth. And I'm like, do these eat people? He's like, not really. It's like, that didn't seem super confident, but confident enough. It's like, do they eat the dog that's swimming around us? He's like, they might. They might eat the dog. It's like, well, there's only one. So now as I'm going down the river, I can feel the temperature change and water move underneath me. There was no big scary creature underneath me. But for a moment it felt that way. What I learned from the trip today is life's kind of a paradox. And it's different if you know something intellectually, but also like I'm getting sunburnt in a river with some dude I don't know that I met. I'm going like, I have a plan and a direction for how this is going to go, which is super important. I know ultimately I need to watch out for myself. This guy cares, but not that much. Like if I'm hitting these vines or there's a fucking alligator or a caiman, something with a lot of teeth that could maybe kill me, but for sure mess me up. But also, there's a current. God's kind of in charge, or God's always in charge. The universe is always in charge. But it's also always responding to you. It's not God striking you down. It's also you're not just behind the wheel doing whatever you want. It's a co-creation. So I was like, isn't that interesting? You have this direction. You have this plan. You have this... You're a sovereignty-seeking individual. Or creating even more sovereignty as a man. And yet you gotta let go of shit. It's a funny dichotomy. And it's really not one or the other. If you're too far in New Age spirituality, or whatever new stuff is out there, woo-woo stuff, it's go with the flow. Women don't want to have sex with you. Women don't feel safe with you. Women might have sex with you out of pity, but you're not going to have what you want. Who you are and your pleasure and your balls and your heart and your spine and all of who you are. On the other hand, you can have a plan, a direction, an outcome. Then you're going to be free, be sovereign, but then you just got to control everything. But then you have all the results, you have all the rewards, or so it seems on the surface. And today was about having a plan, adjusting the plan, listening to God, and floating down the river. Thanks for tuning in. How does that apply to your life right now?